Yes, it's Miss Vina D coming to you all from Vina Entertainment News. So, the Real Housewives of Atlanta had, their 10th anniversary special, and there was nothing really special about it, but it's always good to go down memory lane and see, wow, this is how far, we've come and things like that. So, it was nice to watch, even though it didn't compare, but it filled the void of the show going off the air. To be honest with you, excluding the reunion and a few episodes here and there, this season was so boring that this episode felt like exactly what happened during the entire season. A few parts were, great, but apart from that, it was like, eh. So I'm going to go ahead and run down the list, and then I'm going to go through them one by one. So number 10 was the best catchphrases, and Kenya had that. Number 9, best walk-off, Kim. Number 8, biggest crier was Candy. Number 7, wedding woes was Candy and Todd. Number 6, faith friend was Dwight. Number 5, family feud, Mama Joyce and Todd. Number 4, biggest beef, Nene and Kim. Number 3, best event, Chateau Sheree. And number 2, biggest lie, Portia, Candy, Phaedra. And then number 1, the shadiest, Phaedra. I'm going to save that one for last. I'm going to save that part for last, number 1 for last, because you guys already know. If you've been visiting my page for a little bit, my channel, then at this time you've caught on my vibe, I don't have to say it. You've caught on to it. I love teachable moments. I love uplifting people. I love any situation that I could turn into a lesson and use a moment to just uplift people. I love that. So that's why I'm saving Phaedra number 1 moment for the closing. So number 10, best catchphrases. I mean, apart from everything else, when they ran through Kenya's list, I was on the floor. Just Kenya and Sheree house alone, I was like, I'm done. The chateau she can't pay. The chateau she ain't gonna ever get it done. Like, she was just reading Sheree house. Okay. And then, of course, you had, Nene Leaks, the bloop and all that stuff, and Sheree, who can check me, boo, and Cynthia Bailey, now what else is going on, whatever she said. When I was going through some of the other seasons, I was like, oh, okay, Cynthia was a little feisty to Kenya too. She was, I remember, and Peter was nasty to Kenya. Referring to Kenya, feet as ashy, by ashy, all of that. Yeah, but the catchphrases were funny. But let's go ahead and move on. And the best walk off, of course, when Kim quit, and she walked right into her own show. But the best one for me was Portia and Kenya going at it, and Portia saying bye Ashy, and Kenya saying bye and God bless you, and the both of them walking away. Candy got this one hands down. I'm not even going to run down through the other ladies. Candy got this part. She's very passionate. She's very passionate. So this part did not really shock me at all that she got it. The biggest crier, she's passionate, so that passion turned into emotions and then tears, and then it's like, oh my God, there we go. When her voice start cracking, you already know it's going down. The Candy and Todd wedding, yes, it was up there, but I really do think that I know that the whole signing the prenup, hours before the wedding, on camera, all of that stuff was crazy, and just a family drama and dynamics. But I really do think that Cynthia and Peter should have taken this one, because regardless if it was for the camera or not, what her family pulled was just terrible. Hiding her license, oh my God, the marriage license, yeah, that was terrible. And to see Peter's reaction when Cynthia was walking down the aisle, that was very sweet. I just love how different and non-traditional her dress was. For the people saying, oh, Cynthia should have listened because she would have saved herself all of the heartache, whatever the case might be, guys, listen. life, as cliche as you want this to sound, Cynthia had to have that moment in order for her life to be where it is now, for her to be led to where she is now. She had to, go through the whole marriage with Peter. Like, that was a part of her journey, or a part of her story, and had she not asked for a divorce, they would still be married. She's someone who doesn't want to be locked down with a paper, and she said it herself. She said marriage was never for me, but there was just something about Peter, that's what he wanted, and I went along with it. But she said that if she can pull off the Oprah situation in the future, that's what she would do, but she can't see herself getting married again. But I would say I will switch Candy and Todd and make that Peter and Cynthia situation. But then fair friend Dwight is hilarious. He just had me in tears. He's the one that came up with the fashion show with no fashion child. I'm like, oh my God. Miss Lawrence was funny too. He was very funny and all of that. I don't have nothing to say about Marlo, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on from that. Biggest beef, 10 years later, these two just, so Nene and Kim got that. I was going to say, Kenya versus everybody, but Kenya versus Phaedra was definitely the biggest beef, or because her husband, Kenya, was standing up. The comment that Kenya made about Apollo is nothing different than the comment Nene Leakes made about Peter, that Bravo have refused. I'm not saying to make it right. I'm saying that Bravo have refused to do a flashback when Nene had an almost 3-minute conversation about Peter and how attractive Peter was, and if how Peter wasn't married to Cynthia, and if Cynthia wasn't her friend and she wasn't married to Greg, she would absolutely date Peter, and Peter is fine and he's handsome. I'm not making this up. Go ahead and go to the beginning, and Nene in her confessionals and by herself, those are the conversations about Peter. But because it's Nene, regardless if she's friends with Cynthia or not, if Nene was a stranger off the street who just joined the show and made those comments about Peter, no one would care either, because it's Nene. Okay? Which is kind of insulting to Nene, because it was almost like when people said, oh, please, it's Nene. Peter don't. It was almost like people saying that Nene wasn't attractive or something like that, and so no one cared. That was kind of an insult to Nene. And people said, but if it was Kenya saying those things about Peter, it would have been different, which I thought was disrespectful to Nene when people would say that, because she's attractive in her own right. Who are we to call people ugly or whatever the case might be? But let's go ahead and move on. When Cynthia saw Kenya's husband, regardless if they're friends, even if she was new to the show, and she said that her reaction, and she said how attractive Kenya's husband was, even if she wasn't Cynthia Bailey, people would have said, he is attractive. She just made a comment. It doesn't mean she wants to be in his bed. Every single time anyone go there, Phaedra walk in the room with Portia and her boyfriend half dressed, and it was Phaedra and Portia are best friends. Everyone know that Phaedra bending over in front of Todd is a huge joke. When it comes to everyone else, is a joke. Kenya Moore standing up, minding her business. She never ran into that woman's husband's arms and jumped into his arms. Apollo goes and pick up Kenya and throw her in the pool. Okay? We just saw the replay tonight. She didn't run to that man. She didn't jump in his arms. She didn't do nothing. She made a comment, the same comment that countless of women have made on that show about other people's spouses. But, oh my God, that comment made it that she wanted a guy. When Apollo was lying on Kenya and it was working in Phaedra's favor, no one said, how are we to believe Apollo? Because he went to jail for fraud. He's a liar. No one said that. When Apollo came and apologized to Kenya and revealed that he's been lying, then it was, oh, we can believe we can't believe it this time because it's not working in Phaedra's favor. That was when his fraud conviction meant something, because it was no longer in Phaedra's favor. So now Apollo is a liar. Oh, we know he went to jail for fraud. So him coming and saying Kenya never did this, of course he's lying. He's just mad at Phaedra right now. So he's doing anything to make her look bad. It's just crazy to me. But my thing is, I never believed that story, because you're trying to tell me with these people who love receipts and all of the lies that they have told, Apollo would have had in his phone that type of text for Kenya, and that wouldn't have been the center of attention on every social media page and whatever. Come on now. So I already knew that was a lie. Now, Phaedra been lying, she's second to Kim Zolciak, lying about her due date, lying about the whole Kenya and Apollo situation. And let me tell you something about Phaedra before I get to number one. For all have sinned. Okay, so for all have sinned. I'm not going to point no finger and say, oh my God, you're a Christian, da 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 da. No one is perfect. But I pray for Phaedra, because it's like you can't take a show that serious to be that hateful, to want to destroy other people's lives. Like, all right. Now, let's get to number one. Although social media is saying yes, and everyone is clapping and cheering, I know that Kenya is not going to give Phaedra the satisfaction and make her feel like she's even a she's even a part of her tuts. But this will be a major teachable and learning moment when Kenya reveal. She already told us she's pregnant, we know. But when she's having a child or her baby shower, whatever the case might be, in the video, if I was her, I'd do a special video. And in that video, the voices of everyone saying the worst, disgusting things about her motherhood. But you don't want to bring that negative energy into a beautiful moment, so I won't suggest that. But a video of everybody saying rotten eggs and all of the disgusting things they've said about her. Let Kenya Moore be the inspiration that no matter what people say about you, when they think they're digging your grave, they're digging their own grave, honey. You just keep taking actions in a positive direction and allow God to have a reaction. Amen? That's all I can really say, because where is Phaedra's husband right now? Okay? It's not about having a husband, whatever the case might be. But even though that was the top moment of the show, I'm glad that Bravo did that, just to prove to you that don't ever allow anything that anyone say to you in your lifetime discourage you from being the best you that you can be. Kenya was going to be, at the sperm bank, as if people who really go to sperm banks, as if that's a bad thing. But for another black woman to sit on the stage and say that another beautiful, intelligent woman wasn't worthy enough for love, to be a wife, to be a mother, for her to be that angry to the point where she would sit there and wish that upon somebody's life. And look at the hole that she dug for herself. All of the planning and plotting. She didn't only get fired, but got fired in the most embarrassing way ever. When you say someone is going to go to a sperm bank and that's how they're going to have the kids, that's basically saying their children will never know who their fathers, are, whatever the case might be. Okay? And in as much as Apollo is going to be released within enough time for his kids to still get to know him, even though he was in his kid's life, before he went back. But if Phaedra stayed true to what she said when she was on the show, that she's not going to take them to see their dad, if she stayed true to that, then they're not seeing their dad. So in as much as she have children, partially what she said came back to bite her in the butt, because the man that she claimed would not be physically there for Kenya and her kids, because she's going to be going to the sperm bank to make them her own man, is not in her kid's life because he's locked up somewhere because he couldn't keep it together. His family and his wife and everything wasn't important and great enough for him to keep it together and stay out of jail. So even those beautiful kids, which I'm going to insert videos from Phaedra Instagram live right here.
Look at the deer. Oh my gosh. He is enjoying our backyard. Oh wow.
Cool.
Oh, look
Let's
at him.
go outside and say hi to
You
him.
can't say hi to no deer.
Yeah, you can. Hello, dude.
Look at him looking at us. Wow. Oh my God, where is he gonna go? He's gonna get in our pool. Oh my gosh, look how he is a big little deer.
He is a little guy. We don't need the grass people to come. Now we know that we got a lawnmower right here.
Deers don't eat grass to make the yard look good.
Tonight, and you can hear their voices. Exactly. So there's no hate here. That I went ahead and included Insta stories of her kids in the background. So, Phaedra is doing well and whatever. So there's no hate here. But my thing is, you have to be careful what you say to people. Because in as much as it was a rehearsed read and it was this great read and it was all of that, Kenya Moore is married. Kenya Moore is pregnant. Kenya Moore, I shouldn't say find. He who finds a wife finds a great thing. An amazing man found her to love her and to be there for her. So be careful what you say to people. That's the only message that I got of it. That never allow anyone to dictate what your life is going to be. You and God control that, baby. All right. I'm wishing you all an amazing day. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.